Welcome back, everybody. You know, this journey has been rough. But I'm just gonna ask you to just buckle down a little bit here. We're gonna start learning about these murders, what's been going on, what's happening. Some of these stories are gonna be tough. But we need to find out more evidence. I know most of you are ready to be like Tom Segura. I don't know, but we need to know what's been going on. And I'm going to say something crazy right now. I'm going to say something crazy, but I don't think he's doing it alone. I think it might be something bigger. Something bigger. Maybe like a group thing. Maybe the comedians. But there's one thing that I definitely think. I definitely think Joe Rogan's involved. Allegedly. Somehow. It's crazy. But look at what he does to people he doesn't like. I mean, look at all that beef he started with Mark Maron, remember? And it wasn't even Mark Maron fault. He made it about Bert, and it was about Dave Chappelle. That's just one. Look at the Bobby Lee stuff. Look at what he did to Carlos Mencia. You don't think he can't snuff a few people? I think, and here's the other connection. Before we watch this, one last connection. Doesn't Joe and Tom every day send each other horrible shit? Now, why would Tom, we know Tom has a fascination with murder, but why would Joe want to see that stuff too? Are they sending each other YouTube videos of people's bad stuff, or are they sending each other videos of their bad stuff every day? Wish you could see those phones, don't you? But that's my theory for now. But for now, we're going to investigate what's actually going on. This will be broken up into two parts because it's a long video. Part one in the morning, part two in the afternoon. Here we go. This is Tyler Oliveira investigating an active serial killer in Austin, Texas. Thank you, Tyler.
I will bring him back. I promise. I promise I'll bring him back.
Dude, I've actually seen somebody, like the cops, wheel a body up from the actual lake. Okay. So
I haven't seen this video.
Actually drowned 2 years, like a year and a half ago.
He drowned?
Yeah, allegedly.
I'm gonna be honest, my son misses his dad every day. He wants to know what happens to his dad.
Put your hands behind your back.
Wait, officer.
Put your hands behind your back.
Wait, actually?
Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, sir.
That's me getting arrested and taken to jail by APD after jaywalking and asking them about 13 dead bodies found in Lady Bird Lake in Austin, Texas since just January 2022. 11 of them men, 2 of them women, and only 1 confirmed homicide. APD says the rest is either accidental or suicide, but families of the victims want more answers and more investigation.
Yeah, okay, just one more thing before we get deep in this. I haven't seen this because I wanted to watch it with you guys, so I might be like, holy shit, you know? So let's see what happens. Here we go.
Police claim the cause of death is mostly accidental drownings, as primarily drunk young men wander from the famous bar district called Rainy Street and into the nearby river. Many Austin locals fear there may be something far more sinister at play,
My brother's death was not accidental.
with countless theories ranging from the smiley face killer to a Dexter-type APD officer behind it. There are over 90,000 members in this Facebook group chat entirely mistrusting the police's official narrative and serve as a testament to the questions and concerns the public has. Is there a killer or killers actively on the loose? And are they still out there?
You're still asking questions!
All right,
Move on!
All right, chill.
What do you think you are? What you are?
Now,
Is that Tom Segura?
Again, one tipsy evening when I got a little too curious and asked Austin police a few too many questions, apparently.
All right, I was asking the gentleman about the Rainy Street killer. I asked them if they were engaged. Now we are engaged. How you doing, miss? How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Give some in, okay?
All right, I got respectful distance. No, I know you're an honorable lady.
Why would that be questioned?
Well, we got 2 cops right here, and I asked them about the Rainy Street killer and
About the what?
the Rainy Street killer.
Killer?
Exactly.
You guys crazy?
I know you're totally unrelated, so you have a great night, officer.
Yes.
What is going on with the Rainy Street killer?
It's alcohol. People get drunk.
Do you genuinely believe that, officer? I talk to you, please. I paid my.
Like, I'm not a big fan of the whole other people having power over other people's lives things. Because I think, just look at our government. When you give people power, it gets corrupted. But the dude should know better, right? You're messing with cops that are on basically drunk patrol, and they probably had it. Like, I just don't think he should be doing this because obviously he's gonna get himself in trouble. You gotta be a little smart about that. Like, I just don't like I don't like messing with cops because I'm just not a big fan of them, right? I just don't like that whole, like, oh, they can make a decision and change your whole life, and then you gotta, like, sit through court and to defend if you're innocent. Like, I hate that whole thing. Like, I don't want none of that in my life, so I avoid these kind of situations, but this guy, especially if he's a journalist, he should be a little bit smarter about it, I wouldn't have done this. Like, why would you try and they can't even talk, like, this part doesn't make sense to me.
My taxes. Can we have a brief? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Stay out of the road.
Yes, sir. Even when the sidewalks?
Yeah, he's asking for trouble, man.
Okay.
43. Stay out of the road.
You're gonna piss them off. They don't give a shit about you.
That's totally necessary.
You should. It's like playing with wasps, Just don't do it.
Not that deep. As a upholder of the law, what are your thoughts on the Rain Street Killer? I'm doing a little.
No time for that, brother.
Officer, don't leave me, please. I believe I may get arrested right now.
You're gonna get arrested.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Wait, for what?
Put your hands behind your back.
No, wait,
Officer,
no.
put your hands behind your back.
Wait, officer.
Put your hands behind your back.
Wait, actually?
Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, sir.
Put your hands behind your back.
Yes, sir.
It's stupid, man. Why would you do that?
My phone is on the ground. Officer, for what exactly?
We're being in the roadway.
Oh, dang. All right, you can do fentanyl. You can kill people. You can.
The thing is like, this is just stupid. He thinks he's funny and he's making a point. It's like, you didn't need to do this. You know what I mean? Now, like, you think it's funny. You probably got a ticket for this. And depending how I don't know how it works with a city, you might have to go to court now. This will be on your record, and you know what I mean? Like, but he's making that YouTube money, so fuck it, right? Shit, he ain't got to get a job, you know what I mean? Shit, he's like, fuck it. This video will bring me like $50,000. You don't care. Sorry, guys, that was a stupid point. I'm just thinking like me. You don't get involved with cops. You know how I grow? You just leave them alone, man. If the cops have to come, something bad's going to happen. You know what I mean? Sorry, just saying. I just don't. Nope. Don't call them. Just put that down. Walk away. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get any deeper than that, but you might be able to catch what I'm trying to say without saying it. Cause I don't want to say, listen, my political values or my views on things like this. I know it's a very divisive topic, and I just don't want us to get divided here. It's like my comment section. I don't fuck around. If people just come to personally attack me, I ban them, because you're not bringing anything good to the conversation. We're not here to argue about our like values and stuff like that. Like, I'm just trying to talk about this. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to put any more stuff on you.
Wait, I was simply asking officer about the Randy Street Killer. Apparently this is emblematic of a broader question, perhaps. Perhaps there is, in fact, a Randy Street serial killer, and the APD is incapable of... What did I do? There are potentially large threats I'm not making my flight to Florida, folks. I'm taking a seat. Thank you, officer. Thank you for treating me with respect. I appreciate it. All right, I am going to jail. We gotta solve this serial killer.
That's crazy, because like, this is just all stupid. I can't get off it, man. He could have avoided all that. And it's fun yelling in the back of the cop car until they take you to like the city or the city jail or whatever, the metro, and they put you in that pod, and all them dudes looking at you. You walk in that pod, and like it'll be like you go through one door, that thing like slams shut, locks, and then you're in that little containment room, and that other door opens, and you walk through there, and then you see the pod, and you see all the cells. And then the one guard sitting at the fucking desk or whatever, watching over the pod. Dude, that's crazy. I can't even tell you How terrifying would it be to be that one guard? They lock you, double door that shit in there with all the like 50, 60 dudes, and there's one guy in there. Bro, that's a crazy job if you ask me. Fuck that. Bro, just don't go to jail. It ain't worth it.
I'm here with my man Quentin. We just got released from jail. I was charged with use of a sidewalk after asking the officer about the Rainy Street Ripper. With the police response seemingly so absurd, it substantiated in my mind that there was something else going on here, at the very least worth questioning. After being released from jail 6 hours later and pleading guilty to not using the sidewalk, I then spent the next day scrubbing through Reddit threads and Facebook groups of concerned Austin locals convinced something else was going on here besides the official narrative. So I decided to meet up with families of those found dead in Lady Bird Lake who have spent years with unanswered questions and a lack of closure. Let me introduce Mitch, Martin Gutierrez's brother. Before we talk to Mitch, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Delete Me. Did you
Sorry, we gotta watch this.
taking your personal information
Disrespectful.
and selling it online? Google yourself right now and see what pops up. Any views or opinions that might have pissed someone off? I got a death threat just last night. In this digital age with all your personal information out there, the threat of being harassed, stalked, or having your identity stolen is always out there. But luckily, the sponsor of this video, Delete Me, can help you keep your personal info private. I've been trusting Delete Me since March to keep my personal info private, and they've reviewed over 1,000 listings, deleted over 100, and saved me 20 hours of valuable time searching and deleting my information. Take back control of your personal data and join Delete Me now for 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Tyler and use promo code Tyler at checkout. Now, let's talk to Mitch.
I've been out here since 2006. Finished up school, got a job here at one of the local hospitals, and my little brother Martin would always come out here and visit. And January 1st, he moved here in 2018. Lived with me and my now wife out there in South Austin and everything. We'd go out all the time. Yeah, man, that's when it all began. And we used to go out to Rainy Street. You know, Rainy Street back in 2018, you know, it was huge. Everybody was going out there. It was the bar district to go to. One night, we had gone to a dinner with my wife's family and everything, and I had to call it a night. It was Sunday night. My brother wanted to go out with a bunch of friends out to go watch some football. So they went out to Rainy Street. They went to one bar, got out to Luster Pearl, and he, well, according to his records and everything, we looked at it, he purchased one drink and my buddy got him one drink. By the time he got from Luster Pearl to Alibi, which is connect like next door, he could barely even stand. Looking at the footage of him just leaning on from, yeah,
Okay.
2 drinks. My buddy's and then his. I could see him leaning on the bar. He was trying to talk to people and he was like, you know, off his normal behavior from what so he left on the outside. So the guys he was with never even knew he left. And so he actually had a text on his phone from my buddy saying, hey man, where'd you go? Like, are you gone? You know, whatever, but he never responded. On that footage we had seen, my brother is like a, you know, he's a big bulky guy, you know, like a powerlifting kind of guy. And to see him go out of the bar, he was skipping. His behavior was completely off. You know, I know Martin through and through, and I, you know, drank with him multiple times, and it just something was off. And anyways, he actually texted a good friend of ours. And he's like, hey, do you mind giving me a ride? And she was like, oh, I'm still at work. You know, she's a nurse. And yeah, she's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, that's okay. But she said that he called her and he kept repeating himself. She's like, are you okay? And there would be no reason for Martin to go into that area. We looked at the footage in front of that convenience store, and Martin never made it in that direction. You have the towers of Town Lake, then there's a little convenience store here. We have the last footage of him. You can either go to this convenience store and go past it, or this little like dark cul-de-sac, you know, that's right over here. And there would be no reason for Martin to go into that area. We looked at the footage in front of that convenience store, and Martin never made it in that direction. So for some reason, I got a feeling he came in this cul-de-sac area. I have no idea why that would even be an option for him. There's no houses, or no, it's just a big circular dark area where people can park their cars. Yeah. My brother was a very kind person, you know, very gullible, and just thought the best in everybody. So if someone was to say, hey, like I have a flat tire, or hey, I need some help, he would have gone there, helped, asked questions later. I got a feeling maybe someone took advantage of that. The next.
This is like, you know, when you start talking about these like murders and stuff, like this stuff is heavy for me, because you think about him walking into that dark cul-de-sac and you're like, what's going on? Like somebody had to do something, right? It's just so, it's so heavy. It's heavy to want to do that to somebody, right? Like somebody you don't know, like the serial killer thing, like murdering people. It's super heavy because just to like bring yourself to that place to where you could do that, I just can't imagine it. I don't like find it fun. I don't, like hurting people is really hard to do, and there's nothing enjoyable about it. I like, for me, I just, like punching someone in the face like that's horrible to do. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of hurting people. I don't think it's cool. I guess I'm a little older now, and like solving things with violence is not my answer. I'm all for, like, if you go to a gym and, you guys want to box, like safely, or do jujitsu or wrestle, or, whatever, I think that's a good way to solve it. Cause I think sometimes, guys got to get stuff out like that, but, this whole like hurting people for real, like permanently ending their life. Oh, yeah. I don't know why this is rough, man.
Day. We were a victim of routine. We went to the gym every day. Like, I get off of work, we go to the gym, do our routine. Come 5 o'clock, he never called, never showed up to the house, never responded to my text. I'm like, hey man, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Nothing.
And how close are you guys at this point? Are you guys best friends? Are you guys?
We live together. We texted every day. We sent memes to each other every day. Like, that kid was my best friend in the world. When we'd finish each other's sentences, and we just quote movies all the time. He was a wonderful human being. It's hard to find people like that. Reached out to my buddy, and I was like, hey man, I know you were with Martin last night. He's like, dude, he left the bar. We never figured out where he went. And so I had a bunch of friends go out to Rainy Street asking questions that night and all this. I was trying to reach out to people and see what, if I could find any answers regarding my brother's location or what happened, or, And then the next day, I called my boss, said, I'm not coming into work. I need to figure out what's going on with my brother. So I went to all the local hospitals like Seton, St. David's, looking for a John Doe, see if maybe somebody had, come in. There was nothing. And then we put out a post on social media, and then I went to the police department and filed a missing persons case. So within about 3-4 hours, I had KXAN, Spectrum News, like all these people reaching out to help us get the word out on my brother's situation. Austin Search and Rescue coming all the way out here with the helicopters. They had boats and everything coming to look
in the water.
In the water, okay. All around here. They had apparently this infrared technology that could look and see inside the water and see if they could find anything, and they found nothing.
And at this point, was it their belief that he may have been in the water, or they ruled that out?
They ruled it out. It was a huge relief for me. I was like, oh, thank God. He's got to be somewhere out here. Maybe somebody got him or something. Like, the thoughts in my head were just from here to here, man. Like a million thoughts of what could have happened. Had a whole group of people. We had family, friends, coworkers, even random people just looking to help us out. And we would collaborate every morning at like 8 a.m. and then we would just have a search party. I want you to search here, do this, put flyers out here, do what we can to find them. So we focused the majority of our searches on land over here because we ruled out the water. We did the same thing. We'd look from sunup to sundown, and it didn't matter the weather. It was like 20 degrees, man. It was so cold. We kept our searches going for days and days, and then November 26th, I got a text at 5:30 in the morning saying, I have your brother. If you tell the police anything, I'll cut his fucking throat and I'll send him to you piece by piece. I woke up, I panicked, I freaked out, man. I told my mom, I told my wife Whitney, I was like,
yo, what? Are you fucking serious? I ain't even playing, dude. That is horrifying. Yo, bro, that, he just glazed over that. That is insane to get a message like that. That is fucking sane. Oh my God. That like messed me up. Dude, this stuff is heavy, dude. Oh my God, dude. Could you imagine? All right, let's just go back and see this part fully again. That's insane. That's insane. Okay, here we go.
So we focused the majority of our searches on land over here because we ruled out the water. We did the same thing. We'd look from sunup to sundown, and it didn't matter the weather. It was like 20 degrees, man. It was so cold. We kept our searches going for days and days, and then November 26th, I got a text at 5:30 in the morning saying, I have your brother. If you tell the police anything, I'll cut his fucking throat and I'll send him to you piece by piece. I woke up, I panicked, I freaked out, man. I told my mom, I told my wife Whitney, I was like, I got him, he's alive. Like, I fucking found him, you know, like I got him. I was like terrified, but I was happy at the same time. They were like, I want you to go to this location and I want you to text me back. We have people watching you. We know where you are. And so I did whatever they said. I gave my wife a hug and a kiss, and I gave my mom a hug, and I said, if I don't come back, like, I love you, but I will bring him back. I promise. I promise I'll bring him back. And I left my house with no intention of ever coming back because I was.
You thought you were gonna die?
I was.
Yeah.
I did. So.
Yo, this is just insane. What is going on? This is bizarre. Oh. Yo.
I went all over the town. They wanted me to send them, hey, send this gift card. I want you to send me this. Like, I was so naive because I didn't have any answers because I was scared to call. I didn't want them to see me pull up my phone or anything like that.
Probably some
'cause they said they were
scammers, but
watching me. At 10 a.m., I had a meeting with Detective Donovan and the APD on what we could do from this point on so that you know we have him. And I was like, okay, just please let me talk to him. Send me a picture, something. Like, just give me some reassurance he's okay. And a good buddy of mine who worked for the Travis County Sheriff's Department were there to help me in that whole process. But even before we got started, they said they found a body that matched Martin's description. So I had all this hope that he was alive and that I was going to get him, and it was a hoax. Those guys were just taking me for money.
Jeez.
How much money did they take from you?
They ended up getting about $3,500, $4,000. They were adamant, even after they texted me after I told them, like, my brother's body was found, don't fucking text me, lose my number, this and that. They were like, no, those are lies, that's not him, we have him. You know, they continued, you know, and there's a whole new place in hell for people like that. And 2 weeks after he was found, someone went to his Wells Fargo and emptied out his bank account. Someone went through the drive-through, forged his information, and emptied out his bank account. We were like, oh my God, like, maybe that was the guy. Girl, whoever, went to get surveillance. They didn't have any surveillance at the bank. Wells Fargo Bank did not have the surveillance necessary to catch who emptied out my brother's bank account.
No footage.
Zero. We begged for it. We got the cops involved. Nothing. The bank reimbursed the money. Never did anything else. We never got any answers. It could have been the person. Same thing with Luster Pearl. We were able to get surveillance footage at Alibi. You know, all these locations, the towers of Town Lake, all of them were cooperative. Luster Pearl refused to give us any surveillance that would help in the case, saying that they couldn't do anything unless their manager was available. So as soon as the manager came back after the holiday, they got the footage that we needed, gave it to the police. They gave the wrong date of footage and then deleted what we needed. At this point, it could be anybody. It could be bartenders. It could be someone sitting in that location that was watching him. I don't know. Someone spiked his drink.
Any of y'all people out there, where was Tom Segura on this date? I tell you, man, this shit is wild. Now, why would people not cooperate? Why would a business not cooperate? This is just insane. Like, I don't get it. I saw the hoax going, but like, what an insane message to get. And it's super insane for those people to be so heartless. Like, that's pretty heartless.
Or whatever.
This thing, there's so much bad juju all over this, like businesses not cooperating, the police, like, what is going on?
But my brother and I never did drugs. No, it was just all alcohol. I mean, his toxicology, I've put it out there for the world to see. It was alcohol only, but they did a basic tox panel. Benzodiazepines, opiates, THC, all that stuff was negative. Cocaine, like nothing. Like, we didn't do anything. It was just alcohol. But they don't check for like other agents, like roofies and all that other stuff. Like,
was that
I heard that
GHB
they're starting to check for Rufalin now. And they caught it on one person. I am like begging for the city of Austin.
Doesn't Tom Segura, is it GHB? Bro. Dot number one connected, allegedly.
Austin to put up lighting and surveillance in the area, something to prevent this from happening so that other families would never have to go through this. There has been 30 plus bodies that have gone missing. All male, all, very similar characteristics, all off of Rainy Street.
Now, if this was a bigger operation where I told you I think Joe might be involved. We all know, allegedly, Joe might be involved. Allegedly, we all know Joe likes guys. And all the victims are male. We know that Tom knows how to use, I don't know what it is, GHB, the stuff, and he overdosed on it. It's in his Wikipedia, which is crazy. Oh, he just overdosed on it. We all know he knows how to use that. And they now have evidence. Oh, I have an even wilder theory. But I'm not going to say it. Oh, I have a real wild theory. Oh, it's so wild. Well, I just can't. I just don't even want it to come out of my mouth. We're just going to keep watching. I don't even want it to come out of my mouth. But if it would make so much sense.
And all end up in the water. I mean, at this point, it's not coincidental. These are not accidents. The evidence is there. Austin Police Department is real quick to say that all these are accidental. As soon as my brother's autopsy came back that it was accidental, they closed this case. They did that for all of them. Jason, John, all of them. They just all accidental. My brother's death was not accidental. To get from Rainy Street all the way out here to this water, even in this little dark area or the convenience store, it's still 300 yards still away. There's no way he would go this direction in the middle of November, 20 degrees. My brother was the best swimmer I've ever met, but there's no reason for him to be in that water. So my brother's autopsy, I just tore that thing apart trying to find some kind of answers. I've been a nurse practitioner. I've been in healthcare almost 16 years now. So the two things that stuck out to me was that he had a contusion. So a contusion is a bruise. In order for a human being to create a bruise, you have to have a pulse. Police were saying that, he fell off the bridge, he hit his head, he drowned. If he would have hit his head, drowned immediately, he would have never had this contusion develop on the back of his head. That's not possible. Also, too, when they found him in the lake, he was face down floating. So if he had been in the water the entire time, floating face down, his eyes would have been clear, but they were opaque, they were cloudy. Air had to hit them, the sun had to hit his eyes. I do believe that someone hurt my brother and also hurt all the other ones.
What do you think happened to him inside the bar?
I think somebody drugged him.
Okay.
I do. They deleted what we needed, and now I will never know what happened to my brother in that bar. Martin went missing on the 19th. On the 26th is when he was found. It was one of those things to where the APD, we had so many issues reaching out to them. Detective Donovan was so hard to get a hold of. We had new surveillance. I'd send it to him. I'd email it to him. A response would come back a day or two later. I'm like, dude, you got to be more on this. This is an active missing persons case. You need to be responding within minutes, an hour, and we were not on the priority list.
How did APD do when it came to looking for your brother and keeping you informed?
So the APD did an absolutely terrible job with my brother's case. There was people asking for wrong dates of footage. It was hard to get staff to help. It was hard to get people to respond, but I just didn't feel the urgency. I didn't feel like they truly cared. My brother deserved better than that. 3 days after he'd been missing, that he was not in the water. Apparently they were full of shit because they didn't believe their own initial search, so now they went back to the water, but someone found him. There was some guy that has an apartment right here off of Riverside, went out with his cup of coffee in the morning, saw a body floating and called 911.
Police didn't even find him?
Nope, it was a random person in their apartment. Their misled information deterred our searches elsewhere, and he was here the whole damn time.
Was that your hunch initially, or was that your fear?
That was my fear. I was scared to death he was going to be in the water.
Do you think the APD is involved?
Honestly?
Personal belief.
Personal belief, in my opinion, I think that the Austin Police Department has some kind of education or something on it, and they're just not telling us. I can't remember what year it was. It was after my brother had passed. There was a gentleman who was a police officer that was cornered in Container Bar. So Container Bar was a pretty popular bar on Rainy Street as well. They cornered this police officer. There was people in suits, trying to get this guy. The guy pulled out a gun and shot himself in the head in the middle of Container Bar. My buddy was working on Rainy Street, told me all about it. I mean, there was police all over the place. I mean, everything. And a police officer shot himself in the head after getting cornered by, I don't know if it was FBI agents or something, but something happened and they just brushed it under the rug. So I got a feeling, so this is what I think happened, is I think that someone hurt my brother. maybe ask for like, or hey, I'm an Uber. Hey, I need some help with the tire or something like that. My brother, like I said, very gullible, very helpful. And he would have gone over there and then someone hit him on the back of the head and then drug him, took him wherever. You know, at this time, you know, bruises developing, eyes are changing, all this stuff. I don't know when they decided to put him in the water or whatever, but I got a feeling after all this happened, that's when they put him in. Last year with Jason John's situation, all that, we were able to make enough noise to where the Austin Police Department actually put out a public statement saying that there was no risk to the public, there is no serial killer, there's nothing like that to be scared of, you know, continue to do what you're doing. They even continue to refuse on social media now.
I think the APD is gaslighting the public as to the possibility of there being a trend here or a serial killer in this instance.
I very much agree, yeah.
Why?
Money. What, like this all happened right around South by Southwest.
Okay.
We made enough noise to where the city was like getting hit and they were affected by this. So they built this large fence, this wooden fence all right before South by Southwest. So they said that they were doing something to protect the public. Follow the money, man.
But
you know?
since your brother, there have been several people found in this water. People are still dying out
People
here.
are still dying.
Is there anything you could get to give you more peace about the situation and about the loss of your brother?
Answers.
Okay.
You know, my therapist has said it was a compound trauma. You know, it's been almost 6 years in November that my brother's gone missing. And every time another body goes missing, I've worked so hard to kind of push forward, never to move away and just completely just move on, but to at least make step forwards. And then another body goes missing and it rips off the Band-Aid and I'm right back at step one. It's been hard to get back to moving forward because of there's no changes.
So when you hear about another person dying found out here, does that trigger the same feelings you were at when Martin went missing?
Every time I hear of one, I go out walking around. I mean, I'll bring a friend and I'll just try to help out the best I can. Same with Jason. Their families deserve that. And I felt like it was my part because Martin, if he was here, he would have helped me search.
Have you lost faith in the APD?
I have zero faith in the Austin Police Department. They treated all these guys like numbers. If they were to sit and just line up all these families that have lost a significant other or a brother or dad and just look them in the eye and just say, we don't care. It's exactly what they do to us. They don't care. It's just, they're fool of shit.
Thank you, Mitch. Thanks for sharing, brother.
If Martin was only...
Well, this is where we're going to pause it before we go to part 2. But I have a really, really insane... It hit me while we were watching this. Oh, man. I mean, I could do a video on it. But I'll tell you at the end of part 2, my theory. It changes up everything. It makes everything wild, but it makes so much sense. So go watch part 2, and I'll tell you at the end. But outside of that, this is crazy, man. There's just a lot of shady stuff going on and a lot of opportunity for someone with motive to get away with it. There's or there's a lot of people helping this person get away with it. I just don't know. We'll see the rest in the next episode. Thank you.